Net positive for me means giving back more to the planet than we take from it.
I understand it's about giving more back to society than you take out.
Where I try to be as sustainable as possible. So stuff like you turning my monitor off every time I leave the office, which I know not all of us do. But
I do not turn my monitor off, sadly, but I know I should. So to begin this journey into how Hammerson is going to become net positive, we're starting with perhaps the most infamous of sustainability bad guys, carbon.
It's really interesting for me to see how, as Hammerson, we tackle the challenge of carbon emission, knowing that we're such big stakeholders in big cities across the UK.
Despite the bullring being one of our older and highest energy consuming assets, some of the new initiatives have really transformed the energy use here.
So here we're working with Breathing Buildings.
In 2013 we commissioned a consultancy called Breathing Buildings. The intention was for them to come on site to undertake a study to see how we actually currently operate the equipment.
And how do you take on those learnings?
We take the approach that we won't switch anything on unless situations dictate.
So Andy, how does all this help us become net positive for carbon?
Well, basically we've not had to sort of rely on all our gas-powered equipment. We've not turned any heating on whatsoever, which has obviously had a very good impact on their carbon footprint as well. So,
brilliant. Tom, nice to meet you.
We specialise in providing artificial intelligence software that helps big commercial buildings like the Bullring and like Hammerson predict, optimise and control how they manage energy and carbon in their shopping malls. So what we've got here is a model of how the Bullring responds against all these different data sets. So internal space temperature, footfall and occupancy, and we at Grid Edge pull in all sorts of other external data sets. We can look at people arriving into this train station, even data from the football fixture schedules to find out when people are more or less likely to be in the building. And once you've got that foresight of what's going to happen next, you can do something clever about it. Our aim here is to try and empower the on-site energy management team here at the Bullring. And one of the ways we've done that is by looking at how they can change when they're using their heating and cooling assets to reflect the lower carbon periods of the day when grid carbon electricity is at its lowest.
So in short, it's the time at which we consume energy that's more efficient.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's important to keep the customers comfortable when they're shopping, yet we can't do that at the cost of the environment, which is why it's so important to look at technology to manage that.
The next stop on the carbon journey is my hometown of Dublin. We've come here to Dundrum, now the largest energy consumer in our portfolio, to find out what they are doing to reduce carbon emissions. So can you tell us more about this LED project, Ken?
We've replaced all our back of house lighting with a single strip LED and our male lighting, totalling about 2,200 fittings.
So how has the LED project contributed to becoming net positive for carbon?
When we look at our lighting load as a proportion of the overall consumption in the centre, which is something in the region of 7.5 million kilowatt hours per annum, and the lighting load is approximately a third of that, you can see how this was a huge area to tackle.
And what are the next steps of the project?
Looking at a project here for Town Square, which is all our external lighting. The lighting designers are not only looking to replace all the existing fittings with LED, but they're also looking to completely change the look of the place. So we're looking forward to getting into that project as well.
I've come to the Terrasse du Port in Marseille to see what Hammerson's largest energy consumer in France is doing to help bring our net carbon emission to less than zero.
Alors, dites-moi un exemple de qu'est-ce qui a réellement été efficace au niveau de la dépense énergétique pour les Terrasses du Port et à Marseille.
Alors, j'allais dire, avant tout, la mise en place de la station météo. Et c'était certainement un des vecteurs importants. En 2018, on a fait 34% d'économie sur le gaz et 19% d'économie sur l'électrique. Donc ça représente environ 500 tonnes de CO2 annuel. Également, ce qu'il faut dire, parce que c'est absolument fondamental, c'est la qualité de la relation avec les services techniques des Terrasses du Port, puisque on se challenge sur tout ce qui permettra de faire de l'efficacité énergétique.
Laurent, alors on est ici en train de regarder le logiciel de gestion technique du bâtiment. Est-ce que tu peux m'expliquer très rapidement comment ça fonctionne?
Sur cette image, rapidement, tu peux voir déjà que nous sommes sur une machine qui fonctionne en reprise de l'air intérieur et qui retraite l'air pour le retransmettre dans le centre. Mais déjà, on essaye vraiment de coller réellement aux besoins et d'éviter justement de gaspiller de l'énergie parce qu'il n'y a pas de besoin.
You walk through these enormous buildings all the time and you don't realise how difficult it is to actually heat them, cool them and do it in a smart way. If we're efficient with the way our buildings are run, that's already a big tick on the carbon front.
As shopping centre operators, managers, we're huge consumers of electricity, so I think we can make a big difference. If we can also help change people's mindsets, change our consumer and our stakeholders' mindsets by showing them what we are doing and how they can contribute to that, that is also really helpful, but there's still quite a lot to be done.